How to pick paint colors for interior rooms. Here are 12 tips from the pros on choosing interior paint colors that give your home rich personality. So you've renovated your house like a skilled surgeon, fixing structural flaws and preserving each room's distinct architectural character. But something's still missing. More than likely, that something is color, the renovator's secret weapon. Did you know that crown molding can visually raise the ceiling or lower it, depending on how it contrasts with the walls? Or that deft use of color can turn one room into a lively gathering place, and another into a relaxing space for curling up with a book? In today's open-plan homes, where kitchens, living rooms, and dining rooms are often one large space, color is used to help define interiors and create focal points in relatively featureless rooms. The trick, of course, is figuring out how to pick paint colors to use, and where to put them. How to choose interior paint colors. 1. Create a color scheme that matches your home's furniture. Start by selecting 3 colors from an existing object in your home. Take a pillow from the family room sofa, your favorite tie or scarf, or a painting, anything that conveys comfort, or has an emotional connection for you, and take that object to the paint store. Find 3 sample strips with those colors, and you instantly have 15 to 18 colors you can use, since each sample strip typically contains 6 paint colors. The next step is to choose one of the 3 paint colors as your wall color, and to save the other 2 to be used around the room in fabric or furnishings. To choose the colors for adjacent rooms, take the same original 3-color sample strips, and select another color. Finally, choose a 4th color that can be used as an accent. Splash a little of that color into every room of the house, by way of a pillow or plate or artwork. It makes a connection between the spaces. 2. Decide on the finish to create an appealing visual effect. Once you have your colors in hand, consider the finish you'll be using. Though today's flat paints have increased stain resistance, conventional wisdom has long held that a satin finish is best for walls, because it is scrubbable and doesn't draw attention to imperfections. Semi-gloss and high-gloss finishes, it was thought, were best left to the trim, where they could accent the curves of a molding profile or the panels of a door. Today, however, finishes are also being used to create visual effects on the entire wall. Paint one wall in a flat or satin finish, and the adjacent wall in a semi-gloss, both in the same color. Similarly, you can paint the walls flat, and the ceiling semi-gloss to achieve a matte and sheen contrast. Keep in mind that, the higher the gloss, the more sheen and the more attention you draw to the surface. Used strategically, color and gloss together can emphasize your interior's best assets. Three. Match the color to the feeling you want in the room. The psychology of color is a minor obsession among paint professionals. Many say you should choose a color, based at least in part on how a room is used, and the mood you want to establish. Keep in mind, when it comes to emotional effect, of course, one person's welcome home orange will be another person's signal to scram. 4. Know your whites. Whites come in a staggering variety. Pure, clean whites are formulated without tinted undertones. These are favored by designers looking to showcase artwork or furnishings, and are often used on ceilings to create a neutral field overhead. Most other whites are either warm, with yellow, rust, pink, or brownish undertones, or cool, with green, blue, or gray undertones. Use warmer whites in rooms without a lot of natural light, or to make larger spaces seem cozier. Cool whites, by contrast, can help open up a space. Test several at once to see which one works best with the other colors at play in the room. How to use interior paint colors. 5. create flow in open plan spaces. Continuity is important on the ground floor, but color can help zone a big open space, separating the dining area from the TV room, for instance. There's no need to stick to a single color, or even a single color palette that is either all warm, reds, oranges, yellows, or all cool, blues, greens, bright whites. However, by using muted, dustier values, there's a better chance the colors you choose will flow into one another. 6. Make small spaces feel bigger or cozier. What colors make a room look bigger? Generally, crisp whites can make a space feel bigger and more open, while warm colors create a sense of intimacy. At the most rudimentary level, large rooms generally can handle more color than small rooms. Lighter hues can open up a small space, while darker colors give the perception that the surfaces are closer than they are. What colors make a room cozier? Of course, some small spaces don't need to feel big. If you're aiming to create a welcoming or cozy atmosphere in a foyer, study, or library, for example, hunter green or rust may serve you better than pale peach or celery. 7. Using color architecturally. One of the most effective ways to use color to transform a room is to play up its architectural features. Molding, mantels, built-in bookcases, arched doorways, wainscot, windows, and doors all offer an opportunity to add another layer of interest to colored walls. Painting molding and doorways. For subtle emphasis, painting molding or doorways just one step lighter or darker than the primary wall. It's a subtle shift in color, but it really brings your eye to the detail. Painting a metallic glaze right on top of an existing painted element, like a ceiling medallion, is another way to draw attention. A copper or bronze finish is very translucent and it gives a nice shimmer that enhances the architectural feature. Eight. Exploring using two different colors in the same room. For a bolder approach, try using two different colors in the same room. For example, paint a built-in bookcase or niche a shade of green in a room with blue walls, which will highlight the items on the bookcase, or inside the recessed area. Of course, architectural elements can also provide continuity throughout a house, if they are painted the same color in every room. Starting in the Federal period and continuing today, white and off-white have been the traditional choice for molding, windows, and doors. 9. Create contrast in rooms with wainscoting. A room containing wainscot provides a good opportunity for a contrast between light and dark. A dark wainscot below a bright wall will draw attention to the upper walls, while a bright white wainscot next to a colored wall will focus the eye on the wainscot. You can also use paint to create the effect of wainscot, where it doesn't exist, by covering the bottom third of the wall in one color, and the upper walls in another, then place a piece of flat molding along the intersection, and paint it the color of the lower wall to reinforce the wainscot look. 10. Create an accent wall to add a focal point. Where rooms are relatively featureless, painting an accent wall in a vivid hue, where the others are white or neutral, can add a dramatic, contemporary edge. Or, as Ken Charbonneau, a New York color marketing consultant, suggests, paint the primary walls a soft color such as beige or celadon green and the accent wall 3 shades darker. The accent wall still gives the room some punch, but it's not as dramatic. 11. Explore bolder options with multiple colors. If drama is your goal, you might rethink the entire notion of painting a wall from corner to corner, and you'll create an architectural emphasis where one doesn't exist. Moving around the room in a clockwise direction, try painting a third of one wall, and 2/3 of the adjacent wall. Wrapping the corner in color. Then paint the last 1/8 of the second wall, and 3/4 of its adjacent wall, covering that corner. 12. Treat your ceiling like a fifth wall. Painting walls in complementary colors, like the deep red and gray-green at left, and furnishing with neutral hues of similar intensity creates a harmonious look. Red walls make this large dining room more intimate, while highlighting the white wainscoting and trim. Red overhead also lowers the ceiling visually, making the space feel cozier and more convivial, a plus in a room designed for conversation. To give low ceilings the illusion of height, paint them white, and any crown molding the same color as the wall. This will keep from interrupting your gaze upward. Though sticking to ceiling white generally makes a space feel airy, a similar effect can be achieved by painting the ceiling a lighter shade of the wall color.